guys, Jen here with Blessed by Angels, and today I'm going to be going over an activity to be able to strengthen your spiritual gifts and help you to understand them better. I don't know about you, but sometimes I am my biggest enemy. When things are going well, when I'm opening up my gifts or I'm becoming more mindful, I've created a sacred space, I'm learning to take care of my body, I'm learning about being mindful, and then it's almost like all of a sudden self-sabotage comes in. Or I have all of these fears, these doubts, these insecurities, maybe wounds that have come up for me spiritually in the before, that it's time to address so that I can create a clean space to work from. So if this is something that you're experiencing, I have a really great method to be able to help you release those things to be able to move forward. Now, I am very visual, and so I like to draw this out as if we have a stick figure with this bubble around it. I don't necessarily call this the aura, I just call it kind of like your energy bubble, because when we get into the aura, sometimes it can go down all these different routes. It can be so complex. So let's just use your energy bubble. So we all have this energy bubble around us, in which is our protection, it's our safety. But there are times where we have these holes. So let's imagine this is our energy bubble. And there are times we have these holes within our energy bubble. And it can be so easy for heaviness or worry or stress or fear or maybe past experiences to come in and to sink into our space. So it's covering this whole element within us of this heaviness, of this uncertainty. And naturally our spirit wants to be able to honor what is within our energy bubble. And our mind doesn't always know if what we're feeling is us or if it's not us. So if there's a hole here and this heaviness is sunk in, it's almost like our mind doesn't necessarily understand that it could not be our thoughts, our worries, our frustrations. It could just be that we've let in this heaviness and it just keeps sinking in and getting deeper and deeper and more dense within our energy bubble. So I like to use this in light of being able to release those thoughts. So what I like to do is I am a big advocate for being able to journal, to write out your emotions, to write out what you're feeling, and to just let it flow. So what I would write is, I feel like blank, blank, blank. Like I feel like this, or what is on my mind is this. Why do I feel like I am so worried because ... Whatever it is, it's starting out that way and then giving yourself the space to just let everything go. Write everything that you can that's holding you back or everything that's in your mind about that. And as you're able to do that, it's almost like once you get started, you will really be able to realize, wow, most of these thoughts aren't even my thoughts, but for some reason they're within my energy bubble, and I feel like it's reality, but it's not even what I actually am thinking. And it's because we've let that heaviness in, and it's settled into our space, so that's what we're hearing, even if it's not what we actually believe or what we're thinking. And so it's as simple as putting a suction cup onto this hole and sucking it out, so then you have this clean space to work from. So in the steps to that is getting a journal or getting a pen and paper, and maybe not even your journal, but just getting paper that you can crumple up, that you can burn, you can flush, you can get rid of it in any way possible. So what's great is you write out, I'm feeling this way because, and then you just give yourself the space to write and write and write all of these things. And once that's done, you can say, okay, what else is there? What else? And then you keep writing, and what else? And then you keep writing until you feel like you've gotten all of that out of you. And I wouldn't even read it over again. It doesn't have to sound pretty or look pretty. It's just getting that outside of you. In the blog post on my website, I will also have different journal prompts that are written out, so that if you don't know what journal prompt to use while writing and releasing, I'll give you some options and some ideas there. Now, some people think writing is so tedious and they don't want to do that. So there are other options for you as well. is even if you just take a pen or you just take a circle and you're just drawing a circle on a paper, you're drawing pathways, you're doing whatever it is, but it's drawing, and it's as you're drawing, it's almost like you're allowing those things to come outside of you in the physical form. You might just be drawing a bunch of circles, and that's perfectly fine as well, but it's letting your thoughts, filling your thoughts, letting them come through you and out of you so that they're no longer stuck inside of you. We tend to trap things within us. We might say, oh, I'm really frustrated with that person. I'm going to bottle it down and bottle it down and bottle it down. And you can only push things down so much before it explodes or before your body physically is getting ill, you're having health complications. And that could be due to emotions that you've trapped inside of you. Maybe your relationship's struggling because you're holding on to these emotions that the other person doesn't even know about, but you just keep holding them, you keep replaying them in your mind. So instead of keeping that constant feeling, it's being able to release that so that you can live the life that you love and live that powerfully. Now, when it comes to spiritual gifts, a lot of times people have deep wounds in spiritual gifts because maybe they've been told that's weird, or they can't do that, or maybe they experienced something scary or something heavy. And so this is also a great place to be able to write out, I feel set back, or my spiritual gifts, ... Why am I worried about spiritual gifts? Is giving yourself the space to just write out all of those things that are inside of your mind so that you can look at it and be able to get that outside of yourself. So once you've been able to write, and then you write some more, and then you write more, what I like to do is I like to rip off the paper, crinkle it up, and burn it. And that is just a great symbolism of saying, okay, this is outside of me. No one else has to read it, and no one else has to see it, so I can be completely vulnerable with what it is that I am going to write, and then burn it, and then to release it. It might sound so simple, but it is so effective. And for those who might not be into wanting to write, or maybe don't feel safe in writing, I love the element of, go to a tree and talk to the tree, or go for a walk and talk outside. It's not just letting it be stuck in your mind, but it's actually getting it outside of you. Or whether you go for a drive and you're just speaking out loud. I know that at one point in my life, I was so frustrated and I was having such a hard time that I had a bat and some potatoes, and I would just hit the bat with the potatoes and try to hit it. Or one time I had really bad eggs, which this probably isn't the best thing, but it worked for me, is I went outside and we were in this field and I just threw eggs at this tree. And it was just getting out the heaviness that was inside of me so that I could be able to function and not have that keep coming down and exploding up. So after you have burned it, or after that's been completed, the best thing to do to be able to patch up that hole in your perspective for what you can do is also to offer gratitude. Is to be grateful for the lessons learned, for the time that you've had to be able to do that. I always offer up a prayer of gratitude, showing the good things within me, asking to see those things. And it's almost like putting a bandage. It's almost like patching up that hole so that it can become strong and happy and strength and love and light. But it all starts with the gratitude, with adding that happiness there instead of just leaving this gaping hole, which more heaviness can just settle into. So go ahead and give this a try. I love this activity. I've seen a lot of success from a lot of people experience this. We all have heaviness inside of us, and this is just a safe place to be able to release that outside of you, to burn it, so nobody else can see it. Now, of course, with burning, you want to be responsible. You don't just want to go out and burn and cause a huge fire. It's being responsible for all these things, and I think that everyone kind of should have that understanding. And this is a great tool to use for your children as well. Maybe they have a friend that's frustrating, or they just feel like they're not smart enough, or they're just really angry. It's almost like, okay, well, let's just draw circles and think about why you're mad, and then let's burn it and get rid of it so that you can have a clean slate for school, for your friends, for learning, whatever it is. This is such a beneficial technique, and I'm so excited for you to give it a try.